There will be spoilers for the James Bond film No Time to Die. If you haven't seen it and want to avoid key plot points, stop now, go watch it, and come back. No Time to Die is the final outing for Daniel Craig's James Bond, and it is arguable that he loses in the end, going out in a bittersweet way, heroically sacrificing himself to wipe out a terrifying new technology, and at the same time saying farewell to the woman he loved and was tricked out of being with, which robbed him of the chance to spend time with and help raise a daughter he never properly met. The 5 films in that series did something never done before in the cinematic history of 007. Encapsulated an entire story for James Bond, from his first 00 mission to his final glorious demise. The slate has been wiped clean now, leaving the franchise open to start afresh. Let's look at how the film ended. Bad guy Safin is in control of nanotechnology that can be used as a DNA-targeting bioweapon. It can infect a carrier, who then infects others through physical contact, eventually infecting and killing the intended target. This weapon fell into the hands of Spectre, who were planning to use it at a gathering of all members to kill James Bond, who Spectre's imprisoned leader Blofeld knew had infiltrated the event. Safin turned the tables on everyone, secretly having the nanobots programmed to kill all known members of Spectre, wiping out the group and saving Bond at the same time. In order to destroy this dangerous technology, Bond locates and gains access to Safin's base. Safin has taken Bond's former lover and her daughter prisoner. Safin has been a part of this woman's life since she was a young girl. He is basically her villain, not Bond's. Bond must rescue his former lover and her daughter and get them safely away from the base before calling in a missile strike that will destroy the facility, Safin, and the technology along with it. He succeeds, but as he kills Safin, he becomes infected with nanobots targeting his old lover's genetic markers, and therefore her daughter's as well. He now knows that the girl is his daughter, and he will never get to spend time with her and watch her grow up. Any contact at all would kill her and her mother. Bond chooses to say goodbye to them both via radio and await the missile strike that will destroy all traces of the technology, including the nanobots that Bond himself is carrying. It is a tragic and noble sacrifice. It is arguable that while Bond succeeded in his mission, he still lost. However, this was his former lover's bad guy. Bond's bad guy was Blofeld, and Bond lost to Blofeld completely much earlier in the film. It was Blofeld who tricked Bond into losing trust in his lover. He drove her away and ended all contact with her, robbing him of the chance to be with her and be part of his daughter's life. Bond was unaware of Blofeld's direct involvement in this, as Blofeld was in prison and, by all accounts, impotent as an adversary. In actuality, Blofeld had technology in his head that was in communication with his organization, Spectre. He could use this technology to see remotely through an artificial eye, and the communication allowed him to see and hear what was happening with his group and to speak with them and remain in control of Spectre from prison. When Safin launched his attack on the gathering of Spectre members, he destroyed Blofeld's group, leaving him in control of nothing. On top of that, Blofeld's communication via the technology in his head was revealed, so the technology was removed. He was completely shut off from any contact with the outside world, locked under heavy guard, deep within the bowels of an MI6 prison. Powerless. Blofeld's psychiatrist, by his choice, is actually Bond's former lover. Safin infects her with nanobots specifically targeting Blofeld's DNA, which get passed on to Bond. It is also highly likely that Bond was already infected with nanobots that could kill Blofeld, since he was infected with the nanobots at the Spectre Gathering that were programmed to target all members of that group, presumably including Blofeld. Bond met Blofeld in an attempt to gain information that could lead to Safin and his base. During this meeting, a helpless Blofeld revealed that he was behind the trick that forced Bond and his lover apart. He used this and other information to goad Bond into grabbing him by the throat. Bond unknowingly passed on the nanobots, killing Blofeld almost immediately. I feel that Blofeld knew that Bond was infected, either at the gathering or through some contact with his former lover, probably suspecting that Safin would use her to kill him. Rather than languish for years until death in a windowless cell deep beneath MI6, Blofeld used an unwitting Bond to end his potential suffering. He died on his own terms at a time of his choosing. This was when Bond actually lost. Blofeld won completely. Thank you for watching. See you next time.